Y&R Spoilers reveal never-ending secrets and traps. This new showdown is promising to be a storm. Tucker McCall, a powerful investor, gets caught up in the sophisticated game of Audra Charles, who secretly carries out a complex plan without even informing him. Tucker's skepticism explodes when he learns about the mysterious investor behind the acquisition of a major company, but Audra, with a sarcastic smile, just says that the surprise will make the experience enjoyable. Then, although Tucker tries to convince Audra that they can build a happy future together, Audra remains steadfast in her decision. She is proud of her victory, causing a heartbroken Tucker to say she is breaking his heart. Audra just smiled faintly and said that first he needed to have a heart. In a desperate attempt to gain a better understanding of what is going on, Tucker asks his assistant, Dawn, to pretend to join Audra's faction to get information from the board and uncover the secrets behind the Audra's activities. Dawn, under this pretense, begins to gather valuable information, opening up a web of secrets and deception. Meanwhile, at Genoa City Athletic Club, Victor Newman ran into Kyle Abbott and their conversation revealed some interesting details. Kyle mentions Cole, who offers to go out for drinks with him, and expresses annoyance about Claire seeing Cole as an overprotective father. Victor talked about the difficulties Kyle encountered since he worked under Diane Jenkins Abbott, who was conducting a thorough investigation. Victor suggested that Newman Enterprises is always open to talented leaders like Kyle, if he feels dissatisfied with his current position. Later, when Victor arrives at his farm, a phone conversation with Audra reveals that he is the mysterious investor behind Glissad's acquisition. Victor expressed excitement about partnering with Audra and talked about his plans to build a cosmetics company that would crush anything that stands in their way. Finally, at Society, Diane approaches Jack and expresses her doubts when she sees him ending the phone conversation. Jack admitted that he had talked to Tracy, and they discussed Diane urging Jack to stop sponsoring Nikki Newman. When Nikki appeared, she apologized to Diane for the trouble Jack had gotten into because of her, but Diane insisted that she appreciated it. When another phone call from Jack occurs, Nikki makes it clear that she still wants to maintain her friendship with Jack, despite everything. The confrontation between Diane and Nikki reveals their claws as each tries to assert their place in Jack's life, with Diane still appearing confident in her relationship with Jack, while Nikki puts questions about the durability of their marriage. All of these events are just part of the never-ending troubles, intrigues, and passions in Genoa City. Audra spent most of her time and effort pushing Tucker out of her life and managing Glissade alone, but she did not expect Tucker's retaliation to be so fierce. Tucker, not one to be easily defeated, planned to prove that all of Audra's actions towards his company were meaningless. She soon realized that without Tucker's support and power, she really didn't have as much power as she thought. Going to Paris, Audra ignores the warnings of Nate, who is always worried about her and the consequences of her risky decisions. When she returned to Genoa City, she realized that Nate was no longer the ally she thought he was. He changed his attitude and seemed ready to play a mischievous game to deceive her. This truth shakes Audra, realizing that she has underestimated the complexity of relationships and power in Genoa City. Audra faces challenges in her career and personal relationships, and Summer Newman also has difficulty co-parenting Harrison with Kyle. Claire's growing presence in Kyle and Harrison's lives complicates things. Claire is not only Harrison's nanny, but she also becomes closer to Kyle, often hanging out with father and son in a more personal way. Summer feels threatened by Kyle and Claire's close relationship, fearing that it could tear apart their young family. She and Kyle have many arguments about Claire's role and influence in Harrison's life and their relationship. The situation is so tense that another clash between Summer and Kyle seems inevitable, with each having their own distinct views on how best to raise and protect their son. Says the feud between Diane and Kyle is far from over, and the relationship between mother and daughter is no longer the same, so stay tuned for updates on the fallout. Subscribe. Y&R is the place for great young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates and news, so make us your Y&R source.